Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. On today's segment, as I like to call it, I'm going to show you guys how to beast in fantasy football. That's right. Why you should take my advice, you might be thinking? Well, I'll tell you this. I went undefeated and won the championship last year. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it. Now, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. I'll be going through this whole week of fantasy football. Whole week fantasy football marathon before you guys start drafting it. If you guys don't believe me that I went undefeated and won the championship, here's proof. Check it out. Team Robles, 13-0. We do things differently here. I know a bunch of leagues like to go all the way out. We don't do that because towards the end of the season, a lot of players are either benched because they're getting rest during the playoffs. And we don't like that. That's annoying. You should go play all out, all game. And this is my record right here. The first 10 weeks undefeated, dominant, pure excellence, as expected. Nobody even came close. I was just breezing by, man. And here's the other half of the season. Week 11, 12, 13, same thing, dominance, pure dominance. Round 1, dominant. Round 2, championship round, almost choked it, man. The reason I almost choked it because players didn't perform as well. They had a terrible week, and this is the part that I was telling you about, that people were starting to get breaks and stuff. But I forgot what player was on a break, and I had to find someone to replace him. It was hard. Barely got it done, but I got it done. Championship, champion. And I'm going to show you guys how I did it, okay? This is simple. Very simple. What you guys want to do is go to google.com, best source. If I can find my keyboard. Open up 3 tabs, okay? This is what I do personally, and it did help me a lot, okay? I'm not speaking through my ass here. I actually know what I'm doing. You want to go to fantasy football offensive line rankings. You want to do that. Then next tab, you want to write easiest schedule for quarterback. Fantasy Pros is a great website. I recommend it. Fantasy Pros is the way to go, you guys. And this is what I did. This is how I became fantasy football champion, and so could you. Don't forget to subscribe because all this week, this is all I'm going to be doing and showing you my top predictions of the draft and stuff like that. We play standard, by the way. We don't do PPR. Do a couple mock drafts, and I went to right here, fantasy football draft wizard. No, I'm not sponsored by telling you guys this at all. Start mock draft, whatever. You don't have to do it standard and 10 team. Let's say you're first or whatever. We did 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, tight end, a flex position, 6 bench. Okay, start your draft. Once you start it, these are the rankings right here. Overall rankings, this is what the pros want you to draft, or they think this should be drafted at. And this is basically what I did here. Simple, very simple. You looked at the quarterback, strength of schedule. Look at the best quarterback right now. Who has the easiest schedule? This year, I'm really liking Cam Newton this year. I'm also liking Russell Wilson. Basically top 10. That's who I look for. Top 10. Matt Ryan too. I went here, looked who's top 10 easiest schedule. For example, Cam Newton, Russell Wilson, and Matt Ryan, top 10. Write those down. Then you go to running back. Now for running back, you got to look at offensive linemen. Like the offensive line, how good it is. Right now the Colts have the best offensive line. Atlanta Falcons have this second. Dallas third, Eagles, Patriots, Saints, Steelers. Like, look at the top 10, okay? Then you go here and see who has the easiest schedule for a running back. Right now it's looking like James Conner has a second best easiest schedule for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So he's probably going to go early in my book. You see where I'm going with this, guys? You got to look at the strength of schedule for the running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, and stuff. You also got to look at the offensive line, see if it's good for a running back. And you just mark down the people you like. And that's basically it, man. That's how I went undefeated. Also go through the waiver wire. Also listen to a couple podcasts. A couple of them that I recommend is Sportscast Podcast. I also listen to Fantasy Footballers. And basically just pay attention what's going on around the league. Like for example, Melvin Gordon, Ezekiel Elliott, great players, but they don't want to play because they gotta get paid, They want to get paid, which is understandable, But here in Fantasy Football League, players like that do not win you championships. Tune in tomorrow so I can show you guys my top 10 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, and stuff like that. Until then, see you guys then. Peace.